Hi, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're delving into a very troubling issue and one that's stirring outrage in the mental health community. Unauthorized therapist listings, misleading directories, and the ethics of digital mental health platforms. I'm Lisa Taylor Austin, licensed psychotherapist and expert witness. And this video today is a follow-up to an earlier video that I had made that had over 10,000 views. So I know this topic is of concern to many people. This video is based on an April 17th, 2025 article written and published by Mashable. So what happens when a company claims you're part of their network if you're a therapist and you didn't give consent? Or worse yet, what if you, a person looking for therapy, finds an unauthorized profile and you reach out to that therapist? Let's find out what happens. Earlier this month, Dr. Catherine Mbu, a licensed psychologist, made a very disturbing discovery. She was on LinkedIn and she noticed that the emotional support platform called Seven Cups had created an online profile of her using her maiden name and listing her without her permission. And this is exactly what happened to me and thousands of therapists across the country. Stay tuned for you to hear the statistics on this because it's mind blowing. Dr. Ambu had no relationship with Seven Cups. In fact, she never even heard of the company, and she became outraged. She wrote on LinkedIn, "This deceptive practice not only misrepresents me as being affiliated with their service, but it also violates consumer trust. It misleads clients seeking care, and it infringes upon my professional reputation and intellectual property." Mental health professionals across LinkedIn began chiming in, and many discovered that they too had been listed on the Seven Cups directory without their knowledge or permission. But they recognized that old Psychology Today listings, which they had paid to have posted by a legitimate company, were actually repurposed by Seven Cups to create the illusion of active participation. Now, here is the kicker. Only 67 therapists out of 130,000 therapist profiles on the Seven Cups platform were marked as verified. The rest, potentially scraped, outdated, or fabricated using public data. And when concerned professionals confronted the company, Seven Cups responded publicly, defending its directory, declining to proactively remove unclaimed listings, and even admitted it lacked accurate contact information for many of the providers. So they're refusing to take these down, even though they know they're not accurate. So, to make matters worse, when you go to the Seven Cups website and find a therapist, underneath their profile is a button that says send message. Wouldn't you think if you click on that you're probably emailing the licensed therapist? Well, you're not. Instead, you're being rerouted to the Seven Cups listener service, where emotional support is provided not by therapists, but by unpaid volunteers. I put listener service in air quotes every time I see it and every time I say it, because there is no such thing in the mental health profession. Listener service is a false, fake, fraudulent, made up name by venture capitalist companies to lure you in and get you to pay them money. That's literally all it is. Dr. Laura Grashong, Director of Policy and Practice for the Clinical Social Work Association, called the practice incredibly deceptive. I agree with her. She says it creates a dangerous bait and switch situation because you, the potential client, believes you're contacting a licensed therapist, but you end up chatting with an unvetted listener. And in some cases, therapists who tested their unauthorized profiles, received messages urging them to sign up for the 7 Cups premium features and pay more money, while the clients were steered toward in-app purchases such as memberships. Some therapists say it feels like extortion, paying $30 to claim your profile or risk it being used without your control. And that was my exact reaction as well. This is part of a larger issue plaguing mental health care called ghost networks. These are directories filled with inaccurate, inactive, or unreachable providers, giving the illusion of availability while patients struggle to get care. And let me point this out, it's not the therapist's fault. Oftentimes, as therapists, we will report that we're no longer participating or we never participated with these directories to the company, and they don't remove us. A 2024 American Psychological Association survey found that 53%, more than half of therapists on these directories weren't accepting new patients, and a third didn't take insurance. So when directories are outdated or built without consent, consumers are left frustrated and they are misled. Now, the story of 7 Cups isn't the first. In 2022, another company called CareDash faced similar backlash for creating therapist profiles without permission, and they redirected the clients or the users to platforms that paid them a commission. So after a cease and desist letter from the American Psychological Association, CareDash was shut down. 7 Cups now finds itself in the same ethical spotlight. Several therapists, including Dr. Ambu and myself, and hundreds and thousands of therapists that I have talked to, have emailed me, that I have seen posts from, have all reported this to their state attorney generals and the Federal Trade Commission. Some have reported also to the FBI. Others have sent cease and desist letters or made public appeals via YouTube and LinkedIn. And many say that they have never received a reply back from 7 Cups and that their names and information still isn't removed. So where do we go from here? These companies need to seek provider consent before including them in directories. Number one, these websites need to distinguish clearly between a licensed professional and an unlicensed, uncredentialed support service. They need to be transparent with the users about who they're speaking to and what kind of help they're receiving, because this isn't just a tech issue. It's about trust and it's about your safety. If you are a person who is seeking therapy and you're concerned about this, here's my suggestion. If you find a therapist on one of these directories, copy their name, paste it into a search engine, and see if you can find that therapist's own website. If you do, contact the therapist through their own website. The other thing that you can do is type into a search engine the name of your state and the words license lookup. Most states have a website where you can look up licenses of all kinds of professionals. Copy and paste the name of the provider in there and see if they're active. If you're a therapist and you want to know whether you're listed on platforms like 7 Cups, go to a search engine and in quotes, type your name plus 7 Cups, end quote, or your name plus whatever, end quote. If you find an unauthorized profile, reach out to the platform and consider filing a complaint with the Attorney General's office and the FDC. I want to thank you for listening to this most concerning conversation today. I find it incredibly alarming, and there's many of us therapists who are trying to get laws passed to make this kind of thing illegal because it's harmful to the general public and it's harmful to people like you who might be seeking therapy. Thank you for listening, and please subscribe to the channel to help me put out more content and more information like this. Take care.